Hello everyone, my name is Trittany and I'm the reader here at the Crown and Castle Collective, where we're all kings and queens of our own kingdom that we call life, where we're all the rulers of our own kingdom, of course, each of our own lives. This is a monthly horoscope video. This is going to be for November of 2020 for all water sign energies of Scorpios, Cancers, and Pisces. This could be your sun, moon, and rising. This could be for someone else that you know that is one of these three signs, so just take these energies as they resonate, and where they apply, of course, there might be some other people interacting in the reading, of course. So I do want to thank real quick everyone who has joined my channel and subscribed over the past month or year. Of course, it all means so much to me, so thank you for allowing my channel to organically grow. Beautiful. I love to see how it has evolved in this new setup of ours as we have moved into a new castle. So thank you guys for making that possible. We're going to go ahead and get started here. All of the goodies are in the description box. You know where to find me. So, water sign energies, November of 2020 coming up on Scorpio season, of course. Holla. So, the first card in the overall energy we have for November 2020 is this number 14, Drive. This card actually represents Cancer. The traditional Chariot card in the traditional tarot represents Capricorn. Wow. The traditional Chariot card in tarot represents Cancer. So this drive mentality that you water signs are having in November is a definite push. You guys are definitely have your eyes on the prize, long-term goals as well, making progress, really putting your foot to the pedal and putting the gas to the floor. You guys are full forward and nothing can stop you. You could be really motivated for November. You could have big plans for November or through the end of the year. And you're really just, you know, you're driven, you're motivated, you really want to make progress on whatever goals that you could be having. You could be a little bit impatient at times. And, you know, whenever we move forward and whenever we want to progress and evolve into a higher form of ourselves, we really have to let go of some baggage. And I feel like that's going to be your biggest challenge as far as November 2020. There's going to be some discernment that's going to have to be made if you are going to prioritize this Cancer energy as far as, you know, really prioritizing yourself, your own mental and physical health, your spiritual health. I feel like this is what's getting prioritized and what you're really trying to drive home and take to the next level and really make progress or baby steps on, and really start working the gears on maybe some healing that you've put on the back burner, or some goals and dreams that you've had to postpone due to the year. So with the change of direction, I feel like you guys could have been stagnant or maybe made some back steps, which is okay. Healing's not linear. So maybe now you're dead set on your tracks to go towards whatever you had in mind. The biggest challenge you'll have for November 2020. The first card that we have is number 8 of Fire, or 8 of Wands, Deception. This card reminds me a lot of the 8 of Swords just because of all the daggers that are around it, even though it's a fire card. Your biggest challenge could be dealing with people who are being deceitful or being deceiving. Your shadow self, you could be doing a lot of shadow work of balancing that kind of energy, and you could have been lying to yourself. Unfortunately, you could have been feeding yourself a false narrative, and that's okay. It happens to the best of us, okay? This is all very humbling. This is your biggest challenge. And we also have the 2 of Cups, influence. So deception and influence as your biggest challenges. There's either you're not showing up correctly, which, you know, it happens. Maybe you're not being truthful with others or with yourself, or maybe vice versa. You're having someone that is being very deceptive, very deceitful about how they influence your decisions and your choices and the way that you progress. Your biggest challenge is going to be to turn these negative thoughts or these negative peoples away and keeping them out of your energy, because you have so much potential to drive things forward in November of 2020. And it could be really tempting for you to fall back into these deceiving mindsets, or deceptive emotions, whether you're in a toxic relationship with someone else, a substance, or anything like that. Please get help. Your biggest challenge is really overcoming these strong energies in November. So make sure that you are only reading true news. Double check your sources. Make sure you're only engaging in reliable content and people that want to see the best for you, because you are really susceptible to other people's views and other people's mindsets. I feel like you take that into big consideration with who you are today, whether you like it or not, or whether you're aware of it. You could probably have a big influence on what other people think and say about you that could, change the way that you feel and think of yourself. And Spirit's saying don't let those energies in. Your biggest challenge is going to be blocking those lower vibrations of deceptive energies away. You could have people from your past coming back in trying to sneak another take, so just be careful of blocking that kind of stuff out. And also, don't worry about what other people say about your progress or the way that you show up with your healing, because someone's always going to have something to say about it. Do your own thing. Don't listen to them. I feel like there's one person or place or thing that's very significant that you're putting down, that you have to put a stop to, because you're making this drive and forward progress. There's some baggage that you guys are closing up for good in November 2020. Could be a person, a thing, a habit, whatever. So your biggest accomplishment on the flip side, what are you guys really succeeding at through November of 2020? We have transformation. This is actually a card of really good luck. Transformation, of course, is the death and rebirth. And hello, we do have death out here in your headspace, so we'll get into that. Scorpio energy. Scorpios and Cancers, you guys got some cards out here. So this is going to be really good month for you. And the transformation is all about evolving. You guys are letting go of some really deceptive and not so honest traits, either in yourself, if you've been kind of, telling yourself, making excuses for yourself, whether that be small or big. You're really starting to let go of those and grow as a person and heal and change. You could be changing past narratives that you've had with yourself or with family members. This 8 of Fire, this 8 of Wands does have a council. It has a whole group of daggers. So I feel like there's not just one person that could be involved. It could be more of a family dynamic or a relationship dynamic with the 2 of Cups. This could be with a family member, a relative, someone who really influenced the way that you grew up and the way that you saw yourself in the world. So that could really be changing past narratives as well and evolving in who you were meant to be today in this lifetime. You guys are really doing some deep healing, some deep inner work. And with that Drive card, you guys have so much potential locked up in November. And your greatest accomplishment is that you are transforming with that. You guys are really going with the flow and taking stuff step by step, day by day, challenge by challenge, and you guys are overcoming it, water signs, like you always do. And what energies does Spirit want you to harness throughout November of 2020 to really make the most of this energy? Sorry if you can hear my dog playing with his toy in the background. The first card that we have is calcite. This is a stone, so look it up. It could be something that you want to keep on you through November of 2020. Calcite says busy times and multitasking. Take charge of your schedule during this busy time and honestly assess your underlying reasons for being busy. Wow. With the Drive card, you guys are definitely about that busybody in November. You could be getting back on a regular schedule that you had been kind of putting on the back burner or making excuses for. For some of you, it could be hard to fit this into your relationship. Maybe your schedules are opposite as well. That's just a message. Also, if you are keeping yourself busy, make sure you're not driving away from facing the facts or facing stuff that is hard to work through. So make sure you're not trying to do any escapism throughout November. Also, I feel like you guys for the most positive, the higher vibrations of this drive chariot energy is that forward momentum, that forward progress. I feel like you guys are going to feel like there's a fire lit under your ass in November. Sorry if you don't like the language, but really, it looks like you guys hit go on green in November. And yeah, take charge of your schedule during this busy time. And we also have perseverance, dandelion. There's a lot of orange and yellow, solar and sacral chakras energy in this. Your solar chakra, right in your stomach, the yellow energy is essentially the soul essence of our being. That's where our fire burns. That's where, the coal goes into and keeps the body moving. Dandelion is all about perseverance and growing through the cracks of the sidewalk. If you know dandelion, you see that shit everywhere. You see it on concrete. So honestly, it looks like you guys have been through a lot, and you could be in a challenging time right now, but you're doing your best to stay busy. And if you keep the things that you prioritize in your schedule as healthy, healing, positive, vibrational activities, they're really going to pay off and keep you protected during this time. You'll make a lot of really good progress on those activities. Also, Spirit just wants you to keep on pushing yourself because you have all of this potential to make progress. They're saying if you do engage in this and invest in these energies, your body will change on a cellular level. This transformation card, a lot of you guys could be having stomach issues. You can notice a change in like your gut health as well. Just be careful of that. I'm not a doctor. Also, I'm gonna get rid of the squeak toy. I'm sorry. Yay. Sorry, it was just too much for me. Okay. We'll kind of come back into this. This is like the overall advice from Spirit as far as what energies can really help you. Doing a lot of solar chakra meditations throughout November, solar and sacral chakras. Work with those as far as your confidence too. I feel like you have the potential to really present yourself in November. You might have some opportunities to really step into the spotlight if it's your birthday or if it's anything else. Don't be afraid to do that because I feel like you've been working on yourself and your ideas for some time and they've really come to fruition and they're really presentable. All right. Let's take a look at your headspace or what's in the forefront of your mind and in your physical world throughout November 2020. Gotta look at what time it is here. All right, the first card that we have is the Hermit card, representing Virgo energy. It's not sign specific, but Virgo. And we also have Death card, Scorpio. Virgo and Scorpio. Excuse me, I had to burp. So what's in the forefront of your mind and in your headspace for November 2020? The Hermit card, again, goes within, takes some time away to rest and retreat, really is what I'm getting with the Scorpio Death card. Death is all about renewal, rebirth, and recreating. The Hermit is someone who goes inside of themselves and actually takes a look at the dark night of the soul, what parts of ourselves or what part of our routines and our health needs to be kind of cleaned up and worked on. So you could be really working on your physical and your mental health, your spiritual health. It's a really big thing for you water signs in the beginning of the month. You could be taking some time alone. You could be going into counseling or looking for someone to counsel you and really work through some darker energies that I feel like you guys have honestly had throughout the year of 2020. But it feels like it's on a much bigger timeline with this biggest challenge being the deception and the influence as far as groups of people that have maybe told you lies or deceived your view of the world as like a child or as an adult that could have influenced the way that your relationships unfolded, whether that's your intimate relationships, your personal relationships with friends or family. again, it feels like it's on a much bigger dynamic as far as the healing, being with family or communities over time. And that could be a lot for you to rehash, okay? It could be something that takes a long time. And with this Hermit, it's almost like a priority as well. This is something that's urgent that has caused you to probably go into lockdown for yourself, really do a lot of self-care and focus your energy on yourself, because we also have the Page of Pentacles. It's like you stopped everything just to look at this one particular thing in your life. Something that has culminated over time. And I feel like you're kind of taking a fresh perspective at it. Maybe it's because you're revisiting older situations with a newer perspective, a much more healthier, grounded, logical, reasonable perspective that's going to at least grow into something healed over time. I feel like you guys are just starting to like reopen the wounds. If you're kind of going over a narrative or something that had happened in the past, you're like, no, this needs my attention one last time just so I can kind of get it finished up, because I've been carrying this burden my whole life, the past week, the past month, give it whatever timeline fits. There's something that's been on your mind that you need to work on, you need to heal, you need to face something within yourself. If you've been using escapism, if you have been lying and being deceitful to other people yourself, maybe you were playing the bad guy, okay, take the energies as they resonate. Maybe you weren't acting out of the most honest place either. So just being truthful with yourself or with other people involved about that and releasing that burden, okay? It's okay if you messed up. Coming from me, okay? It's all right. It just looks like some really deep healing for you water signs for November 2020. And for it to be Scorpio, for it to be your birthday as well, it looks like a lot of you too could be staying in with recent events. So maybe you're not out doing very much, but there's so much that you can do inside or with your own available space and budgets. I feel like with the Page of Pentacles, there's so much opportunity that you have. In the Ten of Wands, there's a lot that you can create, and I feel like you guys have a lot of pent-up energy towards one particular goal or one particular thing that you want to accomplish, that you can really put your forward thinking and energy into this project, and it's going to pay off for you guys throughout the end of the year. Spirit's saying, go ahead, go forth with that. It's going to help with your healing process. And especially if there's anything else that you've been trying to do that's kind of not pushing, or you're not making progress on it. Maybe it's something that you've had to put off that you can't do right now, or something that you wanted to do that is no longer able. Spirit's saying redirect yourself. There's something right in front of you that needs or at least deserves your attention. And if you're willing to invest yourself into that, it's going to be less stressful for you moving forward. Especially if you can release the burden of any kind of past traumas. Because it looks like you've been carrying it for years, and it's something that needs to go. You need to let go of it. You need to heal and release it. Because it could be causing with this Hermit card and the Death card, it could actually be causing some physical disruption in your life, on your physical body. So just be careful of that. I'm not a doctor, so if you are having abnormal pains or complications, it could be due to this past trauma, whether it's in this life or past lives that you've been carrying for quite some time. It's getting too heavy, could be causing some physical stress on your body. Just be aware of that. I'm getting wrist, anything with joints as well. I'm getting hands, wrist, shoulders, knees, joints. And I mean, that could be anywhere, just any kind of complications. Like I said, not a doctor, but just be aware that if your body's giving signs to you that something feels abnormal or off, Definitely pay attention to that. All right, we are going to move into the love and relationships for you guys for November of 2020. The first card that we have is the King of Pentacles. So there could be some of you who are already in a committed relationship, or we'll split it up. We'll start with people who are in a relationship. The King of Pentacles is a very, 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 very loyal, solid relationship. So congratulations if that is something that you're in. Your relationship could be really deepening throughout the month of November. Also with the Ace of Wands, holla. So you guys could be getting a little treat from your significant other. You could be getting, wined and dined, if you know what I'm saying. You could have the best of both worlds, I feel like, for November 2020. You guys could have stable finances. You guys could be a really good team together, really good communication, or at least maybe the communication might not be as open, but the way that you guys physically communicate goes really well together. Maybe things are just running really smooth. There could be a little bit of arguments between finances or between foundations, or plans that maybe you guys had that had fallen through. If you are single or looking, the King of Pentacles talks about, prioritizing, again, that one specific pentacle that is at large. We need to focus on that energy. Spirit's trying to draw your attention towards one specific thing in your life and to really invest yourself in it. And surprise be, it's you. You are the prize. So Spirit wants you to really fall in love with yourself, really commit to yourself and your healing, and also starting to reflect that into your physical world about how you feel about yourself, how you treat yourself, what do you put into your body, and all that kind of stuff. And then with the Ace of Wands, if you are single, if there's someone that you are looking at, this person could be, there was like a whole storyline. For some of you, there might be someone that you want to commit to, but they don't want to commit, or vice versa. There could be someone who wants you, but you want to stay single, which in that case, I would say is probably the best idea versus, all the other cards. So there could be a runner-chaser kind of going on. Let's say that you want to commit, but this other person doesn't, and you decide to take a step away and take some time away, like a month or so. This person, like a month, or I'm getting towards like the beginning of the year, if you take a hiatus from this person to go work on yourself, they're going to see that glow up. We have the Temperance card representing Sagittarius energy. There is a lot of fire out here, which of course when it comes to love and relationships and sexual energy, that's very prevalent. But the Temperance card talks about fixing stuff over time, the glow up, the balance, the coming to equilibrium as far as healing the self from the in and out. So you could be doing some deep spiritual work, giving back to yourself. I mean, she's got a whole urn here. So I feel like you guys have a lot of room for self-improvement. We always do. So if you start giving into yourself, I feel like you guys are going to hit a really good glow up that this person is not only going to see physically, but energetically, and it's going to drive them wild. We also have the Emperor card out here. Aries, strong masculine energy. So they could really see that and be super turned on by that and step into like high divine masculine energy. Just be careful, because if this person didn't want to commit earlier and they see you change, I feel like this is just not a very grounded Aries. So just be careful if there is one person. I feel like for some of you, there is one person that just might be trying to smash. And if they can't have you, it just might make them more frustrated. For those of you who are in a relationship that things are kind of going well at the beginning of the month, I feel like there could be some surprises for you. Maybe things are just very solid, going really well. With the Temperance card, it seems like things are just flowing very easily. And then also with the Emperor card, there's a really good balance. I mean, we have like divine feminine energies and divine masculine energies. So you guys could be really hitting a power couple moment through November of 2020. And if you are single, you can hit that power couple on your own, between your own masculine and feminine energies, because Spirit's saying how important your self-care and your self-healing is, water signs, for November 2020. They're working so hard, and maybe you've had several failed past relationships, because Spirit wants you to prioritize yourself right now. And there is a need to balance that masculine and feminine energies within you, and not trying to do that based off of, also social media. So your healing might look a lot different than other people's. All right, we are going to take a look into the career and finances for water sign energies through November 2020. And if you're single or not, real quick, jumping back for your love and relationships, another message came through. If you're single or not, people are seeing you and they definitely want a piece of you. Some of you are already committed, so you could be kind of out of boundaries or off limits, but people still want a piece of you. They could definitely be watching you on social media. I feel like if you guys run any kind of social media platform, November is a really, really good time to draw attention towards that. As we were stepping into the career and finance, we have the 9 of Wands. So in this deck, the 9 of Wands, to me, is kind of like a student-teacher vibe, or at least learning under someone's wing, or at least a student-teacher dynamic for your career, finance, and education. Some of you guys could be tutoring or getting tutored. You could be learning under someone else. A lot of you, again, could be going to counseling or therapy, really benefiting over those kind of Virgo energies as far as self-help or help from others. You guys could be getting help or offering that help. You could be training someone at work, or you could be learning a new job. You could be learning a new side job or interest that you could benefit from in the long run. Some of you could have been off of work for quite some time. Maybe you are just now returning and you're enthused and you're ready to go. You're ready to drive and tackle that job, and you're excited to go back maybe. And also, if you are, in this workforce or workplace, we also have the 6 of Swords. So the 6 of Swords also talks about in this deck strategic places. So for businesses and career, I feel like the 9 of Wands traditionally is like the wounded warrior who keeps on going, who keeps on fighting. So things could have been rough for business in the past, but as far as getting back up on your feet and trying to reestablish yourself, there's a lot of analytics and strategy going on right now. Some of you could be getting new management, new bosses, new supervisors, someone that is higher up or superior from you. There could be big strategy moves from businesses, from corporate, or anything like that. If you are running your own business, you probably have been close on your books throughout 2020, so you've had a good strategy of what the year has given you, or at least are doing your best at this challenge. We have 2 5s after that, so very, very, very big challenges in the career and finance and education. Some of you who are in the education, if you're studying, if you're in school, definitely reach out for help. Explaining and collaborating or studying with groups or one other person in particular, or using different platforms to do your studying. Like if you do it all online, look up YouTube videos to help you learn or study whatever it is that you have your eyes on. Just make sure you're reaching out. Try to learn on different kinds. If you learn better listening or interacting, what is your learning method? What method helps you the most? Because I feel like as you bounce back, you have all of this excitement, but you might not be sure on how to approach what you want to accomplish educationally, if that makes sense. I'm getting a little bit off track here. The next card we will step into is the Five of Wands. So for some of you who are getting new management, new corporate policies, new change in strategy in the business, the Five of Wands, I don't see it as strife here. At first, it might be a little bit rough for you to incorporate these new methods or, new policies. It might be hard for the company as a whole at first. It's not just you. Or it could be, if you're getting like new management, it could be a little bit rough at first for them to manage or supervise the whole group of people. And after a while, I feel like that's going to come to pace. Stay optimistic about that, because I feel like in the long run, it can help long run wise. If you're in the education, you might feel like you don't really have a grasp on things as much as you would like to, but you still have a general idea of what you're studying and what you're learning, or at least where you want to see your education go. I feel like you're just needing to put more trust into that rather than seeing the physical outcomes. We also have another five, except for we have the Five of Cups. So this is where we're trusting more into our spirit, our 3D self. Also in this card is kind of like odd. Oh, sorry. So make sure you're staying responsible. Don't get too stressed out and drag yourself into these lower vibrations that could be keeping you off track with that drive, that could be deceiving you and influencing you to spend your time differently, aside from trying to get up to pace with these changes in flow or the change in pace of your workplace or of your education. Make sure you're keeping yourself on track, getting enough rest as well, because I feel like when you are resting, your 3D or 5D self, your 3D self is sleeping, while your 5D self is actually out being active and engaging in these new cycles. Also, yeah, with the new management or new changes, definitely don't get discouraged by it, which I feel like is mostly what this Five of Cups is saying, is that stay optimistic about it, because stay optimistic about this person or your role or your business, because things are just a little bit wonky right now. Even at the end of November, I feel like things are still not the best for career and finances. But more, I feel like we're adapting more. We're having a better idea of what the situation has been looking like, and we can do our best to try to strategize and predict the way that it's going to unfold, or at least what we can do in the meantime to kind of get things back up and running, or at least looking at more creative ideas of how we can fight to keep what we love to do, or our business or our career and finances, to keep them still standing, at least at this point. And it could be very, very discouraging for some of you who could feel like you're at ends meet, or you're just scraping for the last penny to be able to even just make your basic necessities as far as your bills. And it could be really, really stressful for you for day to day. So make sure that you are taking time to sit down with yourself and really bring to attention your own energies with how you are dealing and how you're moving through such rough times, and make sure that you're not judging too harshly of others or of the way that you yourself are showing up. So those are pretty broad messages. Of course, again, this is still a general reading for all water sign energies. Make sure you're not falling into any kind of addictions and stuff like that, which I feel like for water signs, it's really hard for you through November. You could be really tempted to go back to old vices, older, people from your past, habits from your past, addictions from your past. Be really careful of that, Scorpio, Cancers, and Pisces towards the end of the month. So we're going to finish up here with your spiritual development, your spirit throughout the November of 2020. The first card that we have is the Four of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like this talks about creating the life around you. The Four of Wands being like your home life, family life, relationships with 1111. And the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest card in the deck. So if relationships, honey, if they aren't your thing right now, let it go. It's okay. This is not a time, 2020 is not a time for intimate relationships, I feel like. So if those have been failing for you, do not feel discouraged. Spirit's saying it's definitely not the right time. There's something that is much more important right now that they have been trying to incorporate over the past while that maybe you've just kind of been ignoring or pushing away or putting on the back burner, that they really want you to carry forward with, because it has a lot of value and it could hold more value than what you're initially aware of. And that could be with that really deep healing that looks like is being dragged to you guys. Also, we have the Strength card, which is Leo energy. For those of you who are in a relationship, what Spirit was saying is that if you have been committed and you are committed right now, that this really has good potentials long term. If you've made it this far, then just keep going, because Spirit's just reassuring you that there is a lot of strength and there's a lot of balance in this relationship between masculine and feminine energies in November at least. So November could be a really good month for you emotionally, relationship-wise, as far as family and close, intimate relationships, helping you in your long-term goals and plans. You could be getting a lot of assistance from family and friends or close, people who are closely tied to you. They could be giving you gifts. They could be giving you things that help you throughout your day-to-day life, whether that's small tokens or something big and extravagant in a surprise with this Leo Strength card. There's a lot of assistance as far as strength to get you through the day, get you through the week, or anything like that. You could be getting financial assistance from people close to you. And also we have the King of Wands. This is that drive energy. This is that Mr. Go-Getter, Mrs. Go-Getter. This is very, very strong masculine creative energies, you guys. Along with the Strength card, Spirit's saying you have a lot of potential. You have a lot of strength throughout November. You could feel, if you are feeling physically drained, you have to work to change that mentality. The overall advice from Spirit when we got this calcite in the Perseverance, dandelion will grow through the cracks. You need to make sure that you're persevering and changing your narrative or changing the way that you energetically feel. You can decide to do that at any moment. Literally just a quick meditation or anything that can put you in a better mood. Spirit's saying to find those small things that can help get you up and get you moving, even if it's just something small to knock over that first domino. That's the biggest challenge of all. And then you have so much room to create and to move physically through your body. Make sure you guys are using your physical body through November as well. That could be a little bit different than what you're used to. You could be engaging in new physical activities or new creative processes. I feel like that's a part of the strategy, because 2020 is unlike any year. So I feel like we're becoming more comfortable and more inclined to take less explored paths or alternative ways to creating whatever it is that we want to manifest. So don't be afraid to take new options, to take new choices, and to take new processes towards your creations. Spirit's definitely supporting you there. And also, if you move your physical body, like I was saying, it's probably different than what you've normally done in the past as far as taking care of your physical and mental health. You're probably looking into more alternative healings, and they're gonna they're gonna bring really big positive changes for you guys. Your biggest accomplishment throughout November is this transformation. Don't be afraid to let things kind of fall apart for a moment before they start to restructure themselves. And I feel like that falling apart, you guys could feel mentally down in the beginning of the month with the Hermit and the Death card. It could be a really stressful month for you in the beginning of November mentally. And then I feel like mid-November, you guys kind of start to catch that second wind. But then for a moment, you might doubt it. You might fall back into, you know, that back step, the one step forward, two steps back. Do your best to only take those steps forward. If it happens where you backtrack, even just for a moment, that's okay. Make sure you're still having your eye on yourself and putting yourself first and foremost, water signs. And if you do have anyone you can lean on, I strongly encourage, you know, to don't be afraid to ask for help, to reach out, to find professional help, and to also find help within your friends and your family. And if there is any kind of disturbance in those relationships, if you've had rough experiences with the deception and people influencing your life for the worst, then don't allow that to carry forward. We're getting so close to the end of the year, and water signs, you can decide to put a dam up whenever you want to stop your emotions from flowing towards this person or this thing, or at least we would like to think so. It's not always that easy to just cut off emotional ties to someone or to something, which I feel like you guys maybe haven't quite done yet, and that's okay, because I feel like you're starting to acknowledge that you need to work through that. Just make sure you guys are taking care of yourself throughout November. It feels like this is not the normal energy that you guys are maybe used to feeling this time of year. Yes, Scorpio energy is about, you know, cutting ties, death, rebirth, and it feels like it is that energy. I mean, we have death out here itself, but it's almost not the same as what it normally is. I don't really know how to explain it. That is really all I'm getting for you guys. This is the first time I've done the monthly horoscope reading here with this new setup. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to vote on what pick a card readings or pick a pile readings I post. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys are looking forward to for this month and how this resonated with you. And I will see you next time. Bye.